How can I tell the difference between primary, secondary, and tertiary prevention on the FNP exam?
I will tell you that oftentimes what happens is they will put in a question that isn't, don't you wish it was as simple as, is this primary, secondary, or tertiary prevention? It's not going to be like that. It'll be more of, the patient is undergoing a mammogram. What type of prevention is this an example of? And, you have to think primary prevention is what we as nurse practitioners do every day that make us excellent providers. We recommend things to prevent disease and illness. So even like a flu shot, right? These are all primary prevention. So thinking about things like diet, exercise, all primary. So this is before anything is going on, right? So primary prevention is one of the things you just have to think, what is somebody doing that they are doing to prevent disease or illness? Secondary prevention is really where you are detecting things early. So think of secondary prevention as your screening, as anything that's going to detect an early disease process. So things like a mammogram, as mentioned, that is secondary. People oftentimes get that confused. It's not primary prevention. Avoiding alcohol and cigarette smoking, those things are primary prevention for breast cancer. But a mammogram is going to pick it up early, so it's really secondary. People do get confused, and this is, I completely understand it. It still confuses me. Secondary prevention, you're actually finding the disease process. So a colonoscopy, if there is colon cancer, is picking up on it. It's not prevention, although it is truthfully prevention because it's early detection. So tricky words. Then remember also too that tertiary is going to be really where you are managing somebody who already has established disease, right? So tertiary prevention is going to be where we're already have a disease process going on, and we're doing things to manage that, and then any comorbidities or any results of that comes, any sequelae that come from that. So primary, secondary, tertiary. I like to also to simplify things because it is difficult enough to know what you need to know. So trying your best to simplify that, remembering there's only 3 levels. So if it's not before anything has happened at all, it's primary. And if it's way after the fact, it's tertiary. And if it's in between, it's going to be secondary. And secondary is going to be those early screenings and finding things early on. So I hope that's helpful. But trying, kind of a nice deep breath, because you do know this, and those levels are confusing. The wording is confusing, but I think that if you just kind of think it through, thinking about things that are preventing disease, truthfully from the very beginning, it's primary. So PR, primary prevention, PR, hopefully you can remember that, and it'll be your personal record too.
Thank you, Karen. We have another question. We have an exam prep question in the chat. Are the questions in the Leik book similar in structure to what we will see on the board exams?
Great question. Yes, as a matter of fact, one of the things that it's difficult when you are doing exam prep, you do definitely want to have questions that are going to reflect the actual exam, right? You don't want anything that's going to be too easy, maybe a question or two to give yourself a pat on the back, a little boost, a little confidence builder, but you really need questions that are going to challenge you and that do mirror not only the exam format, the difficulty, also the structure of the answer, the structure of the questions. You want to see the multiple choice or the select all that apply, as much as we all love those. But yes, the questions in the Like book do very much reflect what is both on ANCC and AANP. Definitely, behind the scenes, we're always reviewing ANCC, AANP, CB, and looking at the blueprint for the exam, making sure that the coverage is appropriate. And you really don't, you're kind of wasting your time if you're doing questions that are too easy. It's not going to help you prepare. I don't know if anybody does any races or triathlons or anything like that, but if you do an open water triathlon, you really can't swim in the pool. You got to swim in open water. So you really have to do what is going to mimic the event, which is your certification exam, and you really need to prepare in that manner. So it's a good question, but yes, the like questions are very much like what you will see on your certification exam for real.
Since somebody brought up Lake, I'm actually going to ask another Lake related question. So, what is, I know you know that book very well because you're involved in editing it. And so, what do you think is the best way to use that book to prepare for your boards?
That's a very good question too. Love all these good questions. Hasn't been a bad question yet, so we're on a roll. I would say that one of the most important things is to remember where you are in your process. You have to trust that, and you have to have confidence in that because you're not at your beginning of your studies, right? You're not at the beginning of your studies. You are at the end when you're using that book, most likely. No pun intended there. And so when you're using that book, you are trying to do a review. You're trying to see where your strong points are. If you're looking at a book and you're going, yeah, yep, oh yeah, I know that, it's probably not challenging you. So go to a chapter that you're like, oh, yes, that's right. I have to remember that's where you should spend the most time. So we also have, your confidence levels. You can look at that and see if you're getting like 100% or let's say 99% confidence, you feel really good about neuro, and cardiology is a 2, you just don't feel good about it. You have to spend more time on that chapter. Remember too, it is a summary. It's a lot of bullet points, a lot of tables, a lot of things that are going to help you with that active recall. I highly recommend game centers and flashcards and all of the things because that active learning will help to reinforce. Again, you're at the end, right? You need to cover what you know, reinforce it, but then actively work on what you don't know. So I would use the confidence levels. I would flag things. I would put sticky notes if you have the hardcover, hard copy rather, and I would do things like that that help you. But I would use that book as truthfully a review, and then also a flag for where you are recognizing that there's an area that might be a little bit more, a little weaker.